All right, happy Monday night, everybody. Welcome into it. The final week of July, the last week of just kind of sitting here going, when's something going to happen football wise? NFL, Dallas Cowboys, Houston Texans, anybody else, Kansas City Chiefs, college football. When do we got to get something going? Hey, we're this close. We're this close. We've almost made it. Now, we're glad you're with us tonight. We got a lot of stuff going on here in the Raiderland World Headquarters. We are glad you are with us this evening. We ask you to do a couple of things. The early arrivals, give us thumbs up if the audio is good, the video is good. Share it, spread it, put it out there. Put it on your Facebook page, your YouTube channel, wherever it may be. If you hadn't liked our YouTube channel, why not? If you hadn't subscribed to it, why not? It's free. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland. All right, so tonight, a lot of different things going on. Top 5 Texas Tech offensive players the last 25 years. I don't know if you guys have noticed, we've knocked out a quarter of a century so far. That's right. It would be like from 1900 to 1925, getting Teddy Roosevelt on a show, getting the Bull Moose on the show saying, who are your favorite college football players from the turn of the century to now? And then he'd say, Bully, and we got to create the NCAA. And now he'd come back and say, Bully, we got to get rid of the NCAA. Dallas Cowboys drama. Hey, Stephen Jones, no better than Jerry Jones. His comments today about Micah Parsons, we'll give you that. Red Hot Rangers, you buying it? Are you buying into the Rangers? What is it? 9-1 the last 10 games. They get up like 5 games on the Astros. You buying it? And then we do want to say seriously, very pleased to hear Deion Sanders, apparently cancer-free, took out that gallbladder, or not the gallbladder, the bladder, and hopefully he's all good to go. Let's do it in 3, in 2, with dogs barking in the background. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you were. I'm Ryan Hyatt, TheRaiderland.com. Start your day every day. There, we give you the question of the day, like the good, bad, and ugly recap. You want to recap the weekend, tell us your favorite things about the weekend. You do that on the website. You can do it right here tonight. What impressed you the most? Top 5 offensive players. Defense tomorrow, top 5 offensive players. Texas Tech football last 25 years. Cowboy thoughts, Rangers thoughts, your questions, your comments. Brought to you tonight in all the communications and every night by United Supermarkets at Market Street. That one supermarket that you go to because, you know, they got great produce. They got great meat. They got everything you need. And they support Texas Tech. No matter where you shop, in the Metroplex, through the big country, wherever a United is, you're supporting Texas Tech. Also by McAlpin Chiropractic, the official chiropractor. Raiderland. Kevin Mack, don't call a quack. Call him. That's not his slogan. But yeah, he's worked with high-level Texas Tech athletes for decades now. Good people, Great West Texan. And by Middleton and Son. Speaking of Great West Texans, Charlie Middleton, his pop, they are the gold standard farm and ranch real estate and appraisals. Check out their website. Now, I know a lot of you may be they're going, I'm not selling a farm or a ranch today, or I'm not buying one. Yeah, check out their stuff anyways. It's really cool to look at. Meanwhile, if you do become in the market, maybe you're sitting there in the Metroplex or Houston or San Antonio watching this, you want to move out to West Texas, you need to talk to Middleton and Son because they can get you set up on some cool, awesome properties. All right. Let's get it going tonight. James giving us the thumbs up early on the United Supermarkets and Market Street chat line. Top 5 offensive players last 25 years. You get 5. The best 5 offensive players from 2000 to today. Who makes your list and who doesn't? Who doesn't is almost as impressive as who does, because obviously we had a hyper offensive era in the 2000s and, you know, even really after that. We'll do defense tomorrow, special teams on Wednesday. But your top 5 offensive players, Texas Tech Red Raiders, the last 25 years. Hard to believe we're talking about a quarter century now. I mean, that sounds really important, all right? I can remember back in the 90s, you know, the best athlete last quarter century, United States sports, stuff like Bo Jackson, by the way. Unless it was somebody else. So what do you got? We'll get to the Cowboys as we go through tonight. You guys have the ability, thanks to United Supermarkets, to fire away your questions, comments, or otherwise, and we go from there. That if you want to take me a different direction, you can. It's like the old call-in show when people would call into a radio show and actually have intelligent things to say, and good discussion would ensue. I miss those days on sports talk radio. I hate, the fact that nobody calls in anymore on radio. It sucks. Dan gets going. The dogs are how I know the stream is working. All right, there's a lot of different ways we could go. And by the way, everybody who's watching this right now, I need you to do a couple of things. Share this on Facebook Live if you're watching on Facebook Live, on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, and certainly on YouTube. Hit like, hit share, invite people in, tell them we're talking about stuff they kind of care about. The dogs are how I know the stream is working. I think in the movie Red Dawn, at the end of the radio broadcast on Voice of America, they read that encoded message. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. The chair is against the door. The dogs are how I know the stream is working. Alan with a good, bad, and ugly. We're going to start it off with a good. Happy Gilmore 2 was silly and had gratuitous cameos, junior high humor and all. The review for my son, not in junior high. Bad Dion losing his bladder. And what's the deal? Like I'm hearing they did a bionic bladder. He's the bionic bladder man now. Really, at different times in our lives, who among us would not have liked to have had a bionic bladder? We don't want cancer. We don't want that. I'm not making fun of Dion or anything. We're glad he's okay. But the idea of a bionic bladder, road trips, sitting there at the bar. Yeah, I'm good. You hadn't been to the bathroom in 18 days. I'm fine. JC on YouTube. Greetings, great shirt. Thank you. I made it myself. List begins with Graham Harrell. If your criteria is college football in Lubbock, well, it's the top 5 Texas Tech offensive football players in the last 25 years. So that would be Lubbock. That'd be college football. That'd be Texas Tech. Harrell makes my list, and my list is very fluid. He makes it at 5. And on any given day, I can rank Harrell 1 through 3 on air raid quarterbacks. The ugly from Allen, Rob Manfred, getting into cussing matches with baseball players in the locker room. Nobody did that to Judge Kennesaw Mountain Landis back in the day. Jeff, Michael Crabtree at the top of my list. Talking about your top 5 offensive players. All right, so Crabtree, chance at the Heisman Trophy, obviously, 2-time Biletnikoff. One of the best receivers in college football in the era. Top of the list. Is he on the top of my list? Let me look. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Crabtree. Top 5 offensive players last 25 years, Texas Tech. Crabtree's at the top of my list. And it has nothing to do with the Texas game. Ben DeJet, not Benny and DeJets, but Ben DeJet. He goes, Harold Crabtree, Welker, Taj Brooks, and Jakeem Grant. Notice who's not on the list. This is where it gets fun, right? Top 5 offensive players last 25 years. And I don't know the age of Ben DeJet. And we're getting to the point now, this is a 25-year retrospective, right? That you could be in your 50s or 60s. You could be in your 20s or 30s. Try and answer this question. You saw some of them play, all of them play, or maybe just the last 10 years play that you can really speak to. That's what makes lists like this fun. So Harold Crabtree, Wes Welker, Taj Brooks, and Jakeem Grant. James comes back in on Facebook. Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland on Facebook. Wes Welker, Crabtree, B.J. Simmons, Jay Samaro, and Taj Brooks. Amaro is tough, man. Really good. And this is where we have to go college only, Texas Tech players only. Jay Samaro was a great weapon during the Tommy Tuberville years. Never completely healthy in the NFL. Oh, I thought you were going to be busy. I think you could come on the show. I thought you couldn't be on with us tonight. I thought you couldn't do anything. David Collier came back 28, sports director. B.J. Simmons, Crabtree, Torian Henderson, Patrick Mahomes, Welker. You can have Jakeem. I'll take the Okie. So Welker over Jakeem. B.J. Simmons on quarterback front, the tremendous 03 year. Just don't celebrate B.J. and things could have been different. Got the shocker going on. Everything's happening. It's beautiful. The quarterback spot is fascinating. I've got quarterback at 5 on my list. I do have Harrell on my list. Kind of a career achievement award. Maybe he benefits from having more talent around him than some of the other quarterbacks during the era, during that time. Patrick Mahomes does not make my top 5 list because this is a Texas Tech offensive list, best offensive players last 25 years. Not, and he was good. He did great things, but I can't get there. Andy is on Facebook. That's a social media app and not a drug unless you're doing it correctly. He goes with Mahomes. Joel Villani, the 06, 07, 08, Villani, Crabtree, Wes Welker, and B.J. Simmons. 2 quarterbacks, 2 receivers. No, 3 receivers and 2 quarterbacks. No love. I've got on my list 2 offensive linemen and 1 running back. Why do you people hate offensive linemen? You've obviously never been a quarterback. If you're a quarterback, you love offensive linemen. I have 2 offensive linemen sharing 1 spot because the offensive line, they share spots, right? That's what they do. That's what they do. Get your comments on. Thanks to United Supermarkets and Market Street. You can go in tomorrow. Top 5 produce. Top 5 bread products. I'm running out of things. Joseph goes Crabtree, Harrell, Welker, Grant, and Mahomes. 2 quarterbacks, rest receivers. And I guess this is the hyper offense era, right? The last 25 years, this is the air raid era. This is what you guys cut your teeth on. No love for the running backs. No love for the offensive linemen. No love for anything like that. Crabtree, Mahomes, Brooks, Simmons, Welker. This is where any good host would say, there are no wrong answers. But I'm not a good host. I'm old and I'm cranky, and there are wrong answers. Mark, Kingsbury, Crabtree, Brooks, Welker, Torian Henderson. Well, Mark, I've got Torian Henderson, number 3 on my list. Highly underrated. We can go back to Ricky Williams late in the 90s, but we're talking the last 25 years. We've got DeAndre Washington that, man, I wish I valued him more fairly in that Kingsbury era when he's cranking out 1,000 yards. I feel like I disrespect DeAndre Washington. I really do. And then Taj Brooks, recency bias, and by that I mean too recent for us to sit there and go over the last 25 years. We look at what he did. It was, again, kind of a career achievement type deal, although last year was a special season. So here we are. Top 5 offensive players, Texas Tech football, last 25 years. Who's on your list? Jeff jumps in there on the YouTube channel. Ryan Heights, Raiderland. Everybody subscribe. You got us over 500. Now we want 1,000. Let's go for another 500. Everybody on our YouTube channel, thanks for being there. Like it, share it. Everybody on Twitter X, and we got thousands over there, and on Facebook. Hey, just jump over to our YouTube channel, subscribe to it. You can watch wherever you want to watch. Come in wherever you want to come in. Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media. Mahomes, says Jeff, was not one of the best 5 in college. There, I said it, probably not all his fault. No, it wasn't all his fault. And no, I don't consider him one of the best 5 Red Raider offensive players over the last 25 years when I start factoring other players, what they did in a Texas Tech uniform, what they accomplished. Was Mahomes injured for portions of his career? Yes. Was he hampered by a substandard offensive line? Yes. Was he hampered by just whatever you want to hamper him by? Sure. But at the same time, he was not the player he turned into in college. I mean, in the NFL. In college, he was not that guy. Great question. I've got I've got one on my list that's a Tuberville era, talking about to James on Facebook. How many Tuberville players get overlooked because he was a bad hire? Bad hire, bad coach, and not a bad coach. He was a decent coach coming in. I thought he'd be good. Yeah, so you hold the coach against the players, is what you're saying. Yeah, I think people do. I think people forget about, say, I don't know, Laraven Clark, maybe. Kind of forget about that just a little bit. Maybe. It's easy to do. First team All Big 12, 13, 14, 15. He's on my list. And he's at number 2 with Manny Ramirez. So I go Crabtree number 1, and it's probably lazy to go Crabtree number 1. But Manny Ramirez and Laraven Clark, to me, they got to be on my list. So I let them be number 2 together, and it's my list so I can cheat. People forget about offensive linemen, don't they? Did Rex Richards make it for you? I'm a little offended by the question. It's a little bit awkward. And I'm wondering, what do you mean by that? Never first or second team All Big 12, Rex Richards. But a bad man. So who's your top 5 offensive players all time? Tomorrow night, we're going to do defensive players. We'll do special teams on Wednesday. And you know why we're doing this? Because it's the last week of July, and we get to do things like this. We can talk about the Dallas Cowboys drama in training camp. Stephen Jones no better than Jerry Jones. Stephen Jones mouthing off yesterday. This Micah Parsons guy whining about not having a contract and TJ Watt getting money and all this. Well, Micah just needs to want to get paid. What the hell are you talking about, Stephen? He has made himself available. According to multiple media reports, there's not even been a tender offer tendered to Micah Parsons. Now we know how this plays out for the Cowboys. You wait until the market's set. Everybody else gets paid at a position. Then you come in right before the Eagles game on Wednesday, and you give him a big contract, and you overpay. Not overpay what he's worth, theoretically, but overpay on your cap expenditure. And you hamstring your club going forward, and you don't get to sign a good safety, and you don't get to. Meanwhile, your big free agent guard broke a bone in his neck, and he's out for 3 months. So, Jones kind of out for that. But Stephen Jones, anybody who thinks Stephen Jones is going to be better than Jerry, Stephen Jones can't even blame dementia for saying something dumb, something stupid like Micah Parsons has to want to get paid. How does this happen? Well, we know how it happens. you guys are dumb enough as Dallas Cowboy fans to support it. You guys buy the jerseys, pay the tickets, pay the freight. Also, if you want to get in some questions, comments, thoughts, Rangers at the trade deadline, a couple more days. The Rangers have done something horrible to you. They've given you hope. They've won 9 out of 10. By the way, Josh Young, since coming up, I think he's got a hit in every game since he came back up from the minors. He just keeps getting RBIs. He's like taking pitches. He even got a walk the other day. We heard. We're trying to confirm. And then you have the best pitching staff right now in the American League. Shout out Gil Alexander, host of a numbers game on Vegas Stats and Information Network, 9 to 11, weekday morning, Central Time. He has the Rangers as his best bet for most wins in the American League as of today, for the month of August. The schedule, who they play, what they're rounding into. Are you buying the Rangers or selling the Rangers? I have a hard time buying because I'm just still not sold on this offense. The pitching, absolutely. I never thought I'd say it as a Rangers fan going back to the 1970s. Yep. You know, we've always had the pitching. The pitching's great all the time. Doyle Alexander, Charlie Hoff, we're always set. Dave Mason, Jim Kern, we're good to go. Frank Tanana with his 78-mile-an-hour fastball after Tommy John surgery. But we just can't count on the hitting. Yet here we are. Rangers are regressing to the mean, so that means they're going to mash for a while. Mathematics. David Collier making a great point about Mahomes. Third all-time passing, school history. Played 2.5 years, beat up. I know. He didn't make my list. I'm a hard man. James jumps in on Facebook. I'll be a believer in the Rangers a month from now. No, you won't. You'll be totally engrossed in NFL, college football, and you'll wake up and it'll be like September 17th and there's a week and a half left in the regular season. You're going, oh, the Rangers? What happened to that? You will not. Don't lie to people. You will not be a believer in a month from now because you will not be caring about baseball in a month from now. Jeff is on our YouTube channel, Ryan Knight's Raiderland. Best Hall of Fame induction speech this weekend. Didn't watch any of them. The highlights I got, Ichiro's got jokes. That was funny. The guy who didn't vote for me, the invitation to have dinner at my house has expired. He suddenly struck me. Anybody ever watch Iron Chef on Food Network? The host of Iron Chef, and I have no idea whether he was Japanese or Chinese or whatever. And I'm not being funny. I'm not trying to make any sort of racial whatever. I don't know that. But Oriental, obviously, into all this fake karate stuff and everything else. But he had jokes. And as I watched the highlights of Ichiro, like, holy crap, this guy was the guy who was hosting Iron Chef. Your invitation has expired. Damn sure I'd apologize to the offensive line for the omission. You think those passes just happened? Think those runs just happened? Nobody loves offensive linemen. See, I'd go Ichiro. There wasn't a Hall of Fame speech, Jeff, beyond that I saw any highlights of or anything that I just said, oh, yeah, we'll remember that for 50 years. I'm just wanting Rob Manfred to have to go into every Major League Baseball clubhouse right now, mano a mano, and see who wants to fight him and dog cuss him. That's really what I want to see. And you could probably get that on cable and on satellite easier than most Major League Baseball games, which are hard to find, and you can't watch your teams on satellite and on cable. You got a better shot of showing me that on pay-per-view right now than most Major League games. They are certainly not sellers The Rangers would be buyers. The question is, to be a buyer, you have to give something up. It's not like this Ranger franchise right now just has just a huge slew of guys that are major league ready or sitting there double A or long A or whatever. They're just that's really not who they are. The lighters and the rockers and the drafts going back the last 4 or 5 years, they progressed. You're not really that team. You'd have to give up a major league component probably. So would you be willing to give up right now and sell high on Josh Young? That if you thought you could get wild card or maybe hunt down the Astros who are getting beat up, if you're a Ranger fan, would you give away Josh Young to get critical components, which would probably be a little bit of bullpen help, stretch help, and what could you get? So when you're buying, you still have to give up stuff, right? You still got to give up stuff when you buy. What would you give up? I thought for a little bit when they called Josh Young back up, they were showcasing him. Come on, just look halfway decent. You're a career 250, 260 hitter. You struggled this year. You hadn't given us any. Can we get out of this rookie contract? I don't know. Would you do it? James, I would sell Young right now. This would be the time to do it if you're going to do it. David Collier, KMAC 28 sports director, who refused to come on this show, but suddenly has plenty of time to type in comments on the United Supermarkets Market Street chat line. Shout out Dylan Gandy, Rex Richards, Rylan Reed, Glenn January, Adrian Wall et al. Glenn January, not just a great golfer. No, that's somebody else. The early offensive lines for Mike Leach recruited to run block, I formation, stretch I, midline I, everything else that were able to be very serviceable and then good in 2000, 2001, and 2. Pretty impressive. Jeff Harper. Who's Harper? Harper says the players are willing to lose an entire season. What a time for the sport to shoot itself in the foot. Attendance is at a high this season. Who's Harper? Does anyone know who Harper is? I don't know who Harper is. Kind of freaked out by that. You got a couple more minutes. Top 5 offensive players. Texas Tech football, last 25 years. Cowboys drama. Red Hot Rangers. You buy and you sell it. Harper Lee from Beyond the Grave. Good call. Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper. And all right, we're going there. We're going back to baseball. Sorry. Kennesaw Mountain Landis wouldn't have put up with this stuff. Bowie Kuhn wouldn't have put up with this stuff. Bart Giamatti. Bartlett Giamatti would not have put up with this stuff. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Guardians give you a 2-1 on tonight's first 5 innings. And if you go to DraftKings tonight and you use the promo code Guardians, get a free playoff boost. Walking the dog like yo-yo practice. Who made the best yo-yos back in the 60s and 70s? Duncan yo-yos. Still got a little time to get in. I'm going to ask you guys to do one thing. Everybody watching right now, everybody with us live, whatever platform you're on, share it. Then everybody watching the replay tonight, share it with your friends. Put it out there on Twitter at Ryan Hyatt Media if you're not following there. Our YouTube channel, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, if you're not following there. Facebook, Ryan Hyatt's Raiderland, Facebook. Easy to follow. Don't cost nothing. All of our platforms are free. But if you want to do something for McAlpin Chiropractic, for Middleton and Son, great farm and ranch realty, appraisals, the gold standard in this part of the country. United Supermarkets, who supports Texas Tech. All of our great sponsors. If you want to make a difference, you share what we do, you hit like, you put it out there, you invite people in. All right? It's not hard to do. Tomorrow night, Tuesday's best, we'll give you a topic, 2 best examples of said topic. We'll do top 5 defensive players last 25 years, Texas Tech football. Maybe David Carter will appear on camera. And then whatever else is on your mind. Hit us in the morning, theraiderland.com. We'll have the award-winning, not that they're giving out awards for it, but, the hot links, they should give out awards for it. All right, James gets in one more. Good. Last Monday before high school football practice, bad. Sanders situation, ugly. Cowboys in general. With that note, we bid you adieu. Farewell. Avita good night. Till we see you tomorrow in the morning on the website, theraiderland.com. But it didn't stop. Why is it still going? It's supposed to hit the button.